All we did was eat too much. Our stepfather left us, until a human became our real father. The three Zephyrian younglings huddled together in the abandoned cargo bay, their translucent blue skin dulled with hunger and fear. Kira, the eldest, at barely 12 cycles, wrapped her thin arms around her younger siblings' necks and Pila. The metal floor was cold against their bodies, and the distant hum of the space station's recycling systems did little to mask the growling of their empty stomachs. "I'm so hungry," whispered Pila, the youngest, her large violet eyes glistening with unshed tears. Her stomach made another audible protest, echoing in the empty chamber. Kira bit her lip, fighting back her own tears. It had been 3 standard days since Gorvak, their stepfather, had dumped them here on Station Omega-7. His parting words still rang in her ears. "Useless mouths to feed. All you do is eat, and for what? Your real parents are dead. I owe you nothing." The Zephyrian metabolism was notorious among the galactic community. Their growing bodies required nearly 4 times the nutritional intake of most species. What had started as reluctant tolerance from Gorvak had quickly turned to resentment, then hatred. The final straw had been when the children, desperate with hunger, had eaten his week's worth of ration packs in a single day. A soft knock on the cargo bay door made all 3 children freeze. They'd been hiding here for days, scavenging scraps from waste disposal units and drinking recycled water from maintenance pipes. Discovery usually meant trouble. "Hello?" came a gentle voice from outside. "I heard there might be some kids in here who could use a friend." The voice was warm, speaking in accented but clear galactic standard. Kira recognized the vocal patterns. Human. She'd heard that humans had recently joined the Galactic Federation, though she'd never met one. "We're not causing trouble," Kira called out, her voice cracking. "Please don't report us to station security. I'm not here to report anyone," the voice replied. "My name's Marcus. I'm the new head of the station's nutrition program. I brought some food." The mention of food made all 3 stomachs rumble in unison. Nex, barely 10 cycles old, couldn't contain himself. "Real food?" "Very real food," Marcus chuckled. "May I come in?" After a moment's hesitation, Kira activated the door panel. It slid open to reveal a tall, brown-skinned human with kind, dark eyes and graying hair at his temples. He carried a large thermal bag that emanated the most wonderful smells the children had experienced in weeks. Marcus took in their condition with a quick glance. Malnourished, dirty, scared. His jaw tightened almost imperceptibly, but his voice remained gentle. "When did you last eat a proper meal?" 4 days ago, Kira admitted, unconsciously stepping protectively in front of her siblings. Without another word, Marcus began unpacking the thermal bag. Container after container emerged. Nutrient-rich broths, protein bars designed for growing Zephyrians, vitamin supplements, and even some sweet fruits from his home world, Earth. "I did some research on Zephyrian nutritional needs," he explained as he laid out the feast. "Growing kids need a lot of fuel, especially your species. There's no shame in that." The children stared in disbelief. This was more food than they'd seen in months. Pila began to cry, not from sadness this time, but from overwhelming relief. "Go ahead," Marcus encouraged. "Eat as much as you need." They fell upon the food with desperate gratitude. Marcus watched, his heart breaking at their obvious malnourishment, but also filling with determination. As they ate, Kira haltingly told their story, their parents' death in a mining accident, Gorvak's grudging adoption, his growing resentment, and finally, abandonment. "Where will you go now?" Marcus asked gently. "We don't know," Kira admitted between bites. "The orphanage won't take us. They say Zephyrian children eat too much. No one wants to adopt us because of the food costs." Marcus was quiet for a long moment, watching these brave children who'd been discarded for the simple crime of needing nourishment to grow. His own childhood memories surfaced, growing up in foster care on Earth, never quite fitting in, always feeling like a burden. What if, he said slowly, you didn't have to go anywhere? What if someone wanted to take care of you, no matter how much you needed to eat? The children looked up, hope flickering in their eyes but tempered by too much disappointment. Humans have a saying, Marcus continued. Family isn't just about blood. It's about who shows up for you, who feeds you when you're hungry, who protects you when you're scared, who loves you no matter what. Over the following weeks, Marcus returned daily. He brought meals, blankets, and eventually legal documents. The adoption process was complex. Humans were new to the Federation, and interspecies adoption was rare. But Marcus was persistent, working with Federation social services, paying fees, attending hearings. The children began to transform. Proper nutrition brought color back to their skin. Regular meals meant they could focus on learning instead of just surviving. Marcus introduced them to human concepts, family game nights, bedtime stories, the idea that love wasn't conditional on convenience. Why? Kira asked one evening as Marcus tucked her siblings into their new beds in his quarters. Why did you choose us? Everyone else said we were too expensive, too much trouble. Marcus knelt beside her bed, brushing a strand of hair from her face. Because you're not too much of anything. You're exactly who you're supposed to be. And family doesn't give up on family ever, even when we eat a lot. Especially then, Marcus smiled. That just means you're growing strong. 6 months later, at the official adoption ceremony, Kira stood proudly beside her new father as he signed the final documents. Nex and Pila flanked them, healthy and laughing, their cheeks full and their eyes bright. The Federation official, a stern Carillion, reviewed the paperwork with obvious skepticism. You understand, human Marcus, that Zephyrian children require significant nutritional investment? The costs will be considerable. Marcus looked down at his 3 children. No, not his 3 children, just his children, and smiled. Sir, the only thing more expensive than raising children properly is not raising them at all. The official stamped the documents, making it official. As they left the chamber, Pila tugged on Marcus's sleeve. Papa Marcus? Yes, sweetheart? I'm hungry. Marcus laughed, scooping her up in his arms. Then let's go get you fed. That's what fathers are for. And for the first time in their young lives, the words, I'm hungry, were met not with anger or resentment, but with love and immediate action. Because that's what humans did. They showed up, they provided, and they never ever gave up on the ones they called family. And